one of them was, if you can sell yourself, you can sell anything. It doesn't matter what it is: insurance, cars, hats. It's all really about selling yourself at the end of the day. And I think that shaped a lot of my philosophy about things, and ultimately why, makes sense that I kind of got into personal branding. But I remember he used to play like these games. We used to be at like a restaurant and the waiter would not smile. And he's like, I'm not going to leave here until I can get that waiter to smile. And, he was very sort of obsessed with getting people to like him and stuff. And he used to get, I remember one time I walked in and he's like, oh, I want you to meet so-and-so. And, so-and-so is from like the Dale Carnegie Institute. Right. And so my father had me train under that guy. And so I was trained under like the whole Dale Carnegie philosophy, and stuff like that. And, that's really what it was. It's kind of interesting because insurance is a very boring thing. There's a painting actually that I think it's still in the family office that I made in kindergarten of myself standing in a fire throwing out money. And that was my concept of what an insurance broker does. Oh, someone has a fire and then you give them money, right? But it's a boring industry. It's one of those things that no one wants to buy. And so it's one of the hardest jobs as a salesperson to sell people insurance and to make sure that they even buy the right insurance and they're spending around the right amount of money. And so I grew up with that environment and that sort of psychology of like how to do that. And the number one lesson was, if you can sell yourself, you can sell anything. And the number one line my father used to tell people when they would try to skimp out on certain parts of the policy to save money is he would just remind them that, hey, sometimes $1 is $1 and sometimes $1 is $50 million in the insurance world. So yeah, you're going to save $20 a month on this, but then if something happens, it's going to cost you like $100 million, and he said like that's not going to convince them of anything. He would say it, but that wouldn't convince them of anything. And then he would show like what would, and it's usually very counterintuitive stuff.